Tonight on OSP, which Penn basketball team is heading on to nationals, why the other one has to stay home.
The girls' high school state basketball tournament is underway, but which teams from our area are still in play? You'll find out next on OSP. Hello and welcome to Oskaloosa Sports Pulse. I'm Jason Madison.
And I'm Jason Van Zetten. Cabin fever have hit and March Madness is here. No jackets. But heading into Saturday's Midwest Collegiate Conference Tournament semifinals, the William Penn women were geared up for another tough contest against top seed and number 9 ranked NAIA Grandview Vikings.
The number 4 WPU team entered the contest sluggish and trailed 20-10 before narrowing the gap 27-20 at halftime. So we head to the fourth quarter with both teams trading blows, and by blows, I mean baskets. With 1:30 on the clock, Grandview brings the ball down court, and the Vikings' Amy Voss gets the ball and the off-balance shot to go, pinned down 49-47. Next trip down, and the Lady Statesman Sarah Martin takes her defender to the hoop to knot the game up at 49-all. But after a Vikings bucket, Penn is behind 51-49 with 23 ticks on the clock, and Martin is caught in a pickle, and she gets the ball to Taylor Reed, who creates some separation and gets the jumper to go and sends the game into overtime. With just under 3 minutes to go in OT, Penn is down 56-51, and Sarah Martin takes it from the top of the key to the basket, inching the Navy and Gold closer. Then off a Grandview miss, the Lady Statesmen have a chance to tie the game at 1:30, and Oriel Thomas hands the ball off to the sure shot hands of Katie Golumski, and she gets the shooter's bounce to go. But the Vikings' Voss was also hot from the outside, and she dialed up this three. Now with 54 seconds left on the clock, Penn is down 3 and plans on getting the ball to Golumski again, and the double team makes her pass the ball off to Cruiser, who's immediately fouled. Cruiser goes 1-1 at the line, and the Lady Statesmen are down just 2. But last year's MCC Most Valuable Player, Jennifer Jorgensen, had the ball for the Vikings with 30 seconds left. Jorgensen goes left side, stops, pops, and the Vikings are up 4. Then in the waning moments of the game, Martin gets an open look, and the ball is off its mark, and the Vikings escape 63-57. Here's WPU head women's basketball coach Brian Spielbauer after the loss.
I think the part that cost us was probably the first 10 minutes. I thought we played a tremendous second half. Taylor Reed hit an awesome shot to tie the game up right before overtime. We went toe-to-toe with them for 45 minutes today and didn't blink. So I'm really proud of what our girls did and what we accomplished. And we're extremely young. We have a lot of kids back, and we're excited going into next year.
The Vikings showed why they were ranked high in the MCC and in the nation by overcoming Penn's relentless efforts. The Lady Statesman charge was led by junior Sarah Martin with 13 points. Freshman Katie Golumski scored 12 points, while fellow freshman Jessie Cruiser tallied her third double-double to end the season with 11 points and 11 rebounds. Grandview went on to face Mount Mercy, the number 2 seed in Monday's championship game, and the Vikings again found their groove when they outdistanced the Mustangs, winning the conference tournament 79-71.
With the regular season over, the MCC tournament is capping off their season. Awards were presented around the conference, and 2 Lady Statesmen received recognition. Oriel Thomas was named to the MCC's 10-player first-team list, while Katie Golumski was one of 12 who gained honorable mention. Thomas, an honorable mention last year, headlined the Navy and Gold, posting 15 double-doubles, 30 assists, 30 steals, and 10 blocks. She was the top rebounder in the conference and ranked 4th in scoring. Besides receiving honorable mention, Katie Golumski was also selected as the MCC's Newcomer of the Year. The freshman was an immediate threat from the perimeter, averaging 11.5 points per game. Golumski was the league leader with 3-pointers made with 94. She was also first in 3-pointer percentage, knocking down 42%. She produced 47 assists, 30 steals, and 14 blocks to round out the year of 2011 and 2012. With the girls' season kaput, the number 2 seed men's basketball team still had a driving force to keep their berth alive to nationals. However, the team's ticket to Point Lookout, Missouri wasn't in its own hands. The Statesmen were knocked out by Grandview in the first round of a conference tournament a week ago. So who may have been the possible unlikely hero in this fairy tale? Here's OSP's J-Mad with the buzz behind the story.
Cheering for a conference contender, rooting for your rival, and applauding an adversary? Well, that was the scene for the Statesman basketball team watch party. The crowd of 60 or so sat in the dark and watched the Grandview versus St. Ambrose game on 2 projectors. All in attendance were cheering for the Fighting Bees, something you don't see or hear every day.
You got to do what you got to do. I mean, we got to go ahead and cheer them on so they go ahead, go to Nationals, and then we could go too.
That's the reason behind Penn jumping on the Bees bandwagon. As the number 2 seed, WPU knew if the regular season champs, St. Ambrose, won the MCC tournament, it would then earn the at-large bid to Nationals. And by halftime, it looked like a sure thing, with Grandview losing 43-19.
Ambrose looks pretty good right now, defensive-wise. They went on, I think, a 23-0 run, so banking that they come out on defense, play just as hard.
Yeah! The second half was equally impressive for St. Ambrose, which put a smile on John Henry's face.
5 minutes to go in the Ambrose game, it kind of hit me that we were going. I liked our chances coming into today with them playing at home and Grandview having played 3 road games in 5 days. Just really happy for our guys. They've worked very, very hard, and they've earned this.
And for newcomer, junior Keith Steffick, a sense of satisfaction is all he could express.
I mean, it was a little nerve-wracking, honestly, because I didn't want the season to be over. Super happy it's not. It was a great get-together with having everybody here. I don't know. I'm just happy right now.
Everybody look at Jason over there. Look at that camera.
Oh God, no!
We're going to Nationals!
While the Statesman basketball team prepares to face the best in the NAIA, the best in the MCC were announced this week, and a trio of Penn players received season honors. Senior Alan Douglas and sophomore Blake Walker were both picked as first-teamers, while junior Taylor Stoutner garnered honorable mention. Douglas was the squad's top offensive threat with 19 points per game, pitched in 94 assists, 25 steals, and 10 blocks. A 2-time first-team pick, Douglas posted a dozen double-doubles and 13 20-plus point games, including a career-high 39 points against Ashford on January 21st. The senior ranks second in the MCC scoring and rebounding. Blake Walker, now a 2-time pick and honorable mention a year ago, averaged 13 points with 7.5 rebounds per game. The sophomore also collected 8 double-doubles, 1 triple-double to go along with his 42 steals and 8 blocks. Stoutner has found his niche dropping bombs from long range. The junior first-time honoree blew away the MCC field with 125 three-pointers. He is scoring at a rate of 15 points per outing in addition to his 34 assists, 19 steals, and 8 blocks.
The Barnstormers have released former Hawkeye receiver Darrell Johnson-Coulianos. Barnstormers head football coach Mike Hohensee confirmed that the Arena football team placed Johnson-Coulianos on the AFL reassignment list, which means he's been cut.
He's going to look again to DJK. And Johnson.
The player known to Hawkeye faithful as DJK was arrested for drug possession prior to the 2010 Insight Bowl and was dismissed from the Iowa football team by head coach Kurt Ferentz. Johnson-Coulianos wasn't released from the Barnstormers because of similar issues off the field or any other disciplinary problems. At a Rotary meeting held at the Pepper Tree restaurant in Oskaloosa Tuesday morning, special guest and head coach of the Barnstormers, Mike Hohensee, said DJK wasn't transitioning into the game of arena football as well as he had hoped.
In smaller field, the rules are totally different. You got the motion, you got the walls, and you got terminology that's new. Now, I don't know how hard he studied before he came here, but he's made than anybody on the football team. And if you know DJK, he's very intelligent. He's a super intelligent kid. If you ever heard him speak, he's tremendous. But I don't know how well he prepared. And maybe he's one of those guys who thought he was going to come in and walk the dog, just like everybody in this room probably thought it was going to happen for him too. And maybe he was reading the press clippings or reading the blogs. Who knows what's going on with that? But he was behind everybody else. And it was, like I said, it was tough. Because I know he wanted to be great at it, and it just didn't come easy for him.
According to a tweet on DJK's Twitter account Monday, February 27th, the wide receiver already has plans of continuing his football career in the Canadian Football League. My wide receiver coach called me from the Montreal Eloquets to let me know how excited he is to work together. Hype.
Jay, you know, we were out there earlier, and when we were looking at DJK, early on, you can kind of see that his routes weren't as sharp as what they could be. And, you know, when you look at these type of receivers, Randy Moss comes to mind, where these guys need more space to get downfield. You know, he touched a little bit about not being able to grasp those walls. And when we're talking about a football field being 50 yards long, I mean, you can't get that quick separation that they really like to see.
Right, and that's something that the head coach definitely talked about in the clip that we just saw. And, you know, sometimes making that transition is a little bit harder. Mike actually went on to talk about Kevin Casper, who's also a former Hawkeye, who was trying to make that transition into arena football. And if he was running a post or a flag route, he was totally fine. But instead, when he had to make those sharp cuts or do any other kind of motion, he really struggled, and he was not able to actually last back then. So seeing DJK kind of leave, it's not, you know, it's nothing personal. It doesn't seem like. It's just he wasn't able to get the job done, in which, you know, a lot of those guys are out there battling for. So I wish the best of luck to him with the Canadian League, if that's where he's going to end up, and we'll kind of see where he goes from there.
You know, I agree with you 100%. It just didn't really was really the best fit for DJK. When we return, we're going to drop down to the high school ranks for B-ball state action.
You should see my bank. It can do awesome things. Mom says it's just like the Four Seasons. Always there. Helping communities grow and be a better place to live and work. All because my bank lives here too.
Live Iowa, work Iowa, bank Iowa. Member FDIC.
Whoa. Sure, you can take big bites of the handcrafted quarter pounder with cheese, but soon it's half gone. What have I done, you think? Your bites get smaller as you try to savor what's left with scientific precision. And as that last bittersweet bite of 100% beef and cheese tickles over your taste buds, you think, until next time, dear friend. Until next time.
The simple joy of savoring every bite.
Winter is here and they're making snow at Seven Oaks, Central Iowa's premier ski, snowboard, and snow tube area. We make snow all season long to give you the best conditions possible. Seven Oaks now has 2 triple chairlifts to get you to the top of the hill for plenty of thrills. Bring your family, bring your friends, bring a bus to Seven Oaks.
Seven Oaks, we're your destination for outdoor recreation.
Ski and save every Friday night on the Family 4-Pack. And on Sundays, kids 8 and under ski free with a paying adult. Ski Seven Oaks, an easy drive from Des Moines and Ames.
I chose William Penn for its commitment to academic excellence.
I chose William Penn for its commitment to athletics.
I chose William Penn for its commitment to diversity.
I chose William Penn to become a leader.
Why will you choose William Penn?
Last Thursday in Sheraton, the Oskaloosa boys basketball team was in the running for a state playoff berth until they ran into Centerville in the Class 3A District 12 championship. The Big Reds got things going early and capped off a 57-53 win over the Indians. OHS never had the lead in the game and closed out their year 9-14, led by senior Nathan Veldhuizen's 18 points. The 18-4 Big Reds then met their match when they headed to Ottumwa to face the number 3 ranked team in the state, Mount Pleasant. Centerville's season ended with a one-sided 72-40 shellacking by the 23-1 Mount Pleasant squad.
With the Oski boys and girls out of the hunt at the state championship, we turn to schools from around the area making noise at the girls state tournament going down this week. We began in Class 1A, where the Hawks of Linville-Sully were back at Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines. 2012 brought a first-round matchup with West Sioux Falcons. The Hawks came out and grabbed an 8-point lead at the break, but the Falcons opened up with a third-quarter 14-0 run and never looked back in a 54-43 win. It was the third straight first-round defeat for Linville-Sully, but senior Brianna James went out on a high note. The senior led the way with 20 points and 11 rebounds, finishing her career with over 1,000 points.
On the bottom side of the bracket, the top-ranked and undefeated Warhawks of North Mahaska were back in the state tournament for the second straight year and had plans of avenging a first-round loss in 2011. The Warhawks, who returned all 5 starters from last year, gave up the opening bucket to the Red Hawks of North Tama. However, a free throw by Mallory Boyle and a steal and layup by Abby Agon gave the Warhawks the lead that North Mahaska would never relinquish en route to a 47-35 win. The neighbors to our north advanced to take on West Sioux in the semifinals.
Finally, we step up to Class 2A, where Pella Christian Eagles hit the court Tuesday to take on West Hancock in a quarterfinal matchup. In a very even contest, West Hancock held a 1-point lead, but a huge third quarter by the Eagles turned the tide. The Eagles dropped in 26 points in the third quarter thanks to 4 3-pointers and held on to win late, 66-63. The Eagles were led by 2 players in double figures, Jasmine Shellhouse with 17 and Callie Vink with 14. The Eagles move on to the semifinals, where they're going to take on IKM Manning.
More close to home, Oski native and Super Bowl champ Tyler Sash has been making his gift-giving rounds in the community. Last week, he dropped off a New York Giants hat to Governor Terry Branstad at Smoky Row. And this Wednesday, he made a special visit to see kids over at the Oski Elementary School. With more details on the surprise outing, here's OSP and CRI's AJ Hodgman.
It's 8:30 a.m. and nearly 1,100 kids are piling into Oskaloosa's elementary gym for an all-school assembly.
It's maybe one of the first all-school assemblies we've had in 4 or 5 years.
But why? Did the kids do something wrong? No, not today at least. The truth is, it's all because of this guy, Tyler Sash, Oskaloosa's hometown hero and Super Bowl 46 champion. Today, he's surprising everyone by coming to say thank you.
I'm more nervous right now than I am for the Super Bowl, or than I was for the Super Bowl.
A few days before the Super Bowl, Sash walked into his hotel room and found quite the surprise.
The Wednesday before the Super Bowl, to my hotel room, I got delivered a package, and it was a letter from every kid in the school.
We sent off a big box, and from my understanding, it was very touching to Tyler to receive that.
The care package was full of more than 800 personalized notes to Sash, most of them wishing him luck, some asking for personal favors.
And then there was another one that said, can I have your autograph, Tyler? And then on the other side it said, can you get Tom Brady's autograph for me during the game? Each one of those kids took the time to write me a letter, so I definitely wanted to come back and just turn around and thank them.
This time it was Sash who had a message for the kids.
To do as much as you can. Don't focus on one thing. It doesn't even have to be sports. If you're good at music, do music. I only wanted to play basketball, and I'm glad my dad told me to keep doing other things, because you never know.
I really embrace that kind of an attitude, and Tyler is just awesome at doing that.
Sash also answered questions from students.
What did it feel like winning the Super Bowl?
Danced.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to learn on the fly.
And handed out about 1,100 high fives.
Oh, my shoulder's burning.
He may be a man of few words, but when it comes to his character,
you're the best.
Thank you.
You could write an entire book. In Oskaloosa, AJ Hodgman, OSP.
After this break, the Y has a number of young state swim qualifiers, and we bring you the standings of a few more local college winter sports.
The doctor is in and no appointments are needed. Come to Dr. Salami's today and let the doc heal your hunger. Come to Dr. Salami's for friendly staff, casual atmosphere, and good friends. When you get here, you'll be treated to affordable prices, hearty portions, and good food. So come on down to Dr. Salami's today, your place for good friends, good food, good times.
Bates Funeral Chapel, where community is more than just a location. Where compassion is more than just a feeling. Where history is more than just a time. Bates Funeral Chapel, where service is more than just a word.
Promise me, son, not to do the things I've done. I'm gonna love you forever, forever and ever, amen.
I'm begging of you, please don't take my man.
I turned 21 in prison, doing life without parole.
The biggest stars, the classic hits, KIIC.
You know what makes spring so much fun in Iowa? The colors.
Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa has them all in everything that's new for spring. So look over our fun and unique decorations, accents, and flowers. We have everything you need to get your home and your life in a joyful springtime mood. Shop Mahaska Drug and turn that winter drab into a dazzling array of colors and enjoy the new life all around us. Come visit us this week and take the time to look around. Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa. It's big, really big.
Welcome back. A few weeks ago, 51 swimmers for the Oskaloosa Dolphin swim team competed in a chance to dive in the waters at state. 14 girls and 16 boys equaled 30 state qualifiers for Oski. With more on the Dolphins and the state meet, here's OSP and CRI's Amy Langdon.
The Mahaska Y Dolphins will join 39 other Y teams competing in this weekend's YMCA state swim meet. The team competes in a variety of individual and relay events. Head coach Janet Reese says the team is even hoping to break some records.
Because we're getting a little more pool time and getting coaches involved, that we can do more individual work, that we are getting some very competitive. And we will have several that will compete for first through third.
But Reese says it's not all about winning.
I think we've found a nice balance between some of those who have the option to be very competitive and others who are using it to improve and enjoy the sport.
The growing team, it now has 75 swimmers, practices in shifts. Reese, along with assistant coach Wade Bullabaugh and a group of volunteers, head up 2 practices a day, 4 days a week, so swimmers can use the pool more efficiently.
The Y has been very generous in working with us and helping us to find some more pool time. Because of 75 with a 4-lane pool, it's a little too crowded, and we don't get as much accomplished as we'd like to.
The team has kids from 4 all the way to 18 years old. Reese says the number of high schoolers in the program has grown since Oskaloosa High School canceled its swimming program 2 years ago.
If you want to swim high school, you go to Ottumwa. A lot of the swimmers don't continue because that is quite a commitment to make the travel down there for the Ottumwa team.
13-year-old Katie Richmond has been a Dolphin since 1st grade. She says she's gone to state most of her years on the Dolphins. This year, she's competing in the 100, 200, and 500 freestyles.
I hope that I can place in the top 3 for most of them.
And why swimming?
I'm not very good at basketball, so...
For OSP, I'm Amy Langdon.
Drying off and transitioning over to wrestling, still feeling the effects of last week's loss was sophomore Statesman wrestler Eric Berge. Despite just having 1 loss on the season, it came at the wrong time last week. Berge, seen here wrestling in the blue, has fallen from number 1 all the way down to number 8 at 149 pounds. TJ Moen of Grandview, whom Berge defeated 3-2 in a duel back in January, is the new number 1. Berge's drop meant William Penn also fell out of its top 20 spot, sliding unofficially to number 24. The top 5 remain the same, with Grandview holding on to the top spot. The Navy and Gold also took a hit in the Central qualifying group poll, sliding down to number 10 with 10 points, and Grandview continuing to lead with 187 points. That's it for this week's show. Be sure to catch replays of OSP Fridays at 10 p.m., Saturdays at 7 a.m. and 10 a.m. and 10 p.m., as well as on Sundays at 8 a.m., 11 a.m. and 10 p.m. here on MCG Channel 7. And if you're web surfing, you can catch us and the rest of the CRI team online at www.critv.org.
Before we move on to next week's show, we have yet another internet find. Apparently, airplanes are meant to be kept in hangars and flown outdoors, but Joe Ayub Sunday set the potential distance record with a flight that never left the hangar at McClellan Air Force Base in Northern California. Ayub, a former college quarterback, tossed a paper airplane, a remarkable 226 feet and 10 inches.
If verified by Guinness World Records, which had a representative on hand, the toss will shatter the existing indoor record of 207 feet 4 inches set by Stephen Krager in 2003. Ayub was quick to credit John Collins, who designed the aircraft, and apparently, Jay, some people take this as a hobby.
John Collins, I want to know how much time that you spent in detention to come up with a paper airplane like this. For Jason Madison, I'm Jason Van Zetten. We'll be back next Friday with a brand new episode of OSP.
You gonna throw that? Oh. Obviously, you're not setting any records.